What are we doing today?
So before we start today's podcast, or I guess as we're starting the podcast, before we get into the main thing, I want to speak about something that's been really pissing me off for the past few days. Because nobody seems to know except us what is happening with the Disney Comcast Fox bidding war.
And even I don't know that well.
Oh.
I'm kidding.
I just look up because let's do a little smear project. Comic book resources or comic book movies, whichever one of them keeps posting the wrong things, is go fuck yourselves. But basically, here is the gist of what's happened over the last few weeks. So Comcast bid $65 billion, and everyone's like, ooh. And then Disney upped that to $71.3 billion. So
you've got to remember, wasn't Comcast in cash though as well?
Yes, I think they're both in cash.
Yeah.
And
I think Disney was cash and stock.
But basically, so they're still bidding. So that's the first point I want to get over. Disney hasn't won shit yet. They don't have anything. The vote is on July 10th for the Fox shareholders vote. So they've done $71.3 billion, and then Fox acknowledged Disney's offer was the best offer, basically. So there were loads of headlines saying, Fox has accepted Disney's bid. That's not what happened. Disney still don't own anything. It's just that they've gone, right, Disney, $71.3 billion. Yep, that's pretty big. If that's it. Unless Comcast do any bigger, that's probably what we're probably going to vote for. So Comcast has till July 10th to raise their bid over $71.3 billion. Now, if Disney wins the bidding war, it can get approval from the Department of Justice in as little as 2 weeks, because there's been a little bit
as proven by AT&T and Time Warner.
Yeah, there's been a little bit of issues and arguments over the internet of how if Disney wins this, it's all a monopoly and they own everything and it's illegal. Well, that is because there's a thing called the antitrust law, or here in the UK it's called the competition law, which is basically a regulation of organisations to promote fair competition for the benefit of the customers. So essentially, if you don't like Disney, this law makes it so that Disney can't own everything, so other companies have a fair chance of gaining your interest. And how Disney can get around this is they've agreed with the Department of Justice that they will sell off some of their assets, or a lot of their assets, to be able to gain Fox, without breaking the law, because Disney own a lot of things. Comcast would also have to do this if they win the bidding war, but it may be more difficult for them because they don't own the vast amounts of assets that Disney do. If that makes any sense.
It does make sense. I feel like Disney aren't as interested in the news or in the in the TV aspects, like the networks. They've already got their own network. They don't need another network.
Yeah, so essentially, Comcast depends. Is going after the news and the sports and whatever sort of like
and Sky
specific things. Yeah,
and Hulu. And stuff like that.
So I guess in ranked order of most likely to happen on July 10th, which will be voted, it will be either 1, Disney wins, which is the top one. 2, both of them sort of get half and half. I
think that seems more likely than everyone getting everything. But
Disney will get some things, and Comcast will get some things, and Fox will just get even more money, or Comcast win, which is unlikely.
I would love to see Comcast win, mainly to see like comic book Twitter's reaction to Spider-Man being at Universal.
Spider-Man wouldn't be at Universal.
He would be at Universal.
Spider-Man's Sony, not Fox.
Oh no. What was it?
Wolverine.
What am I talking about? Wolverine, yeah, Wolverine, that's what I was talking about. I can't believe I said, yeah. Can I say that again?
Oh my god, you look so stupid on the internet, Cameron.
I want to see the reaction of Wolverine at Universal, because I think a comic book Twitter would be insane.
Oh, everyone would be angry.
I wouldn't. I'd laugh.
But then you'd realise, that means we're not getting a good Fantastic Four or X-Men in the MCU. So
we don't know. I feel like I saw someone who's much smarter than me on Twitter say that we don't know if the contracts would survive a buyout. Like,
I don't remember tweeting anything like that.
Hilarious. I think it's something to do with like there'll be like a clause in it that if a buyout occurs, then the character rights revert back. But it really, I don't think anybody really knows or cares. But please stop tweeting that you really want to see the Fantastic Four at Marvel and think about the human stuff, because I feel like a lot of jobs will go if Disney do get it all. Comcast is most likely to save the jobs. Disney have people to do all the jobs that
fuck
Fox. Fuck those jobs. Anyway, I feel like it's time to get on with the show.
Yes, get on with the show. About the Last Jedi remake?
Yeah, it's my new favourite, most anticipated movie of all time.
Remake The Last... This is stupid.
Well, considering Last Jedi is a masterpiece of cinema.
But you're not saying that ironically.
No, I'm not saying that. I genuinely love The Last Jedi.
It is really good. But why are these people? I hate them.
It's like, I hate people that think that movie companies owe them something.
That's happening a lot of these. Shit. That's where the fan community line is, where it's like, oh, if we don't like something, then it's the company's fault, and they need to fix it. Yeah. So they basically this group of people have been campaigning and have started a fund. Like, I don't know if it's a GoFundMe or something, but basically, you can pay.
I think it's a pledge. Yeah, it's a pledge website. If they reach their goal, you have to give them the money.
Yeah, you can.
So it's a pledge.
You can pay them to add to their campaign to remake Star Wars Episode 8: The Last Jedi.
And I believe they've got to 150 million.
They've gone to so much money, and it's so stupid.
I feel like people are ironically pledging money, though.
Oh, definitely. But they tweeted out saying, our team of producers is offering to cover the budget for a remake of The Last Jedi in order to save Star Wars. Share this and spread the word to let Bob Iger and Disney know you want this. This isn't a joke. We're ready to have the convo now. Like they own the cards. Or hold the cards, even.
You've got to just... If you want something, you've just got to pretend that you're in charge and you can get it. So they're doing a...
Ryan Johnson's been having fun with this.
Has he?
Yeah, he's been...
What's he been saying?
He's been... I think he retweeted it saying, please, 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 please. He really wants it to happen. It's just... Oh. And then Seth Rogen seems confused by this. Because he sort of had a conversation with them. And basically, if I can find it in my notes... Where is it? So he was like, okay, is someone actually investing money in this? How did you get the investors without a script or stars or director or legal ability to make this movie? Those have been important elements in the past. Yeah, because they don't own the rights, so it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. And then Remake The Last Jedi replied to him saying, it's a pretty solid brand, so that's how the investors know they have a good shot at making money. To get the legal rights...
There's no investors.
To get the legal rights, we would need a meeting with Disney, which would require getting their attention. We got yours, didn't we? What did you think of The Last Jedi? And then they added Mark Hamill, which is really weird. So basically, they think that because it's Star Wars... Disney will be like, oh yeah, sure, it'll make loads of money. Just go remake it. They don't own the rights.
No, they don't.
They have to get Disney's approval, which they won't.
And speaking of Star Wars, did you see that Grace Randolph's apparently Grace Randolph's had a lot of racist. There's been a lot of racist stuff coming out of Grace Randolph recently about the whole black people don't like Star Wars. There's too many women and black people in Star Wars now. She's basically one of them, and I feel like she'd be on board with this, but I don't think she's commented on it.
Yeah.
But she's reporting today. She reported today or yesterday that Bob Iger wants rid of Kathleen Kennedy. You mean one of the most experienced movie producers of all time?
Bob,
the woman that brought you E.T. and Back to the Future.
He runs Marvel, doesn't he? Marvel Studios.
Bob Iger, not Kevin Feige, as in the CEO of Disney wants rid of Lucas. Wants rid of Kathleen Kennedy.
There was this whole thing about Kathleen Kennedy stepping down, and everyone was happy, which is horrible because she's done a good job. She brought back Star Wars.
She's fucking hero.
She's
absolute
brilliant.
hero.
It's all stupid, and she was chosen by George Lucas to run it, Lucasfilm, and it's what is going on with this world?
I'm so fed up of it. Star Wars fans are the worst, and if we ever become famous, you can cut that out and do with it what you are. Star Wars fans like this are the worst. Just the fucking worst.
By the way, you broke your promise about not having an outburst about Grace Randolph. Yeah.
Fucking idiot.
So that's.
It's been 5 years since 12 years on Slave.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Oh Hi Films podcast, the greatest show you've never heard of. I am Jordi Steele.
Is this where you cut in The Greatest Showman? I feel like it is.
This is the greatest show.
I'm Cameron Howe, and I am now a professional movie reviewer. Obviously. Yep, 100%. I am a professional film critic.
Somebody actually wanted him to write for their website.
I know, and it really confused me at the time. But yeah, I've been spending a lot of time at the Edinburgh Film Festival.
So that's what.
Well, more time than I would have been spending at the Edinburgh Film Festival because I would have been there already. But I've got a press pass now, which is pretty exciting. I've been wearing it around the house. I've been that excited. I've been wearing it when I didn't need to wear it. I've been that excited. It's been such a cool thing to happen. How are you, Jordi? I feel like I just interrupted your intro there.
I didn't really interrupt it. It's just
that I put you off your flow.
Yeah.
Because we can start again. If you want. I was plugging myself.
You interrupted our podcast introduction with a plug for a different website.
I didn't even mention the website.
Oh, no, that's fine. Yeah, so today we're going to be talking about some films that Cameron's been to see. He's been on a little trip to
all the indie movies,
the Edinburgh International Film Festival. Who wouldn't hire me for any jobs?
Did they not even let you volunteer?
Nope.
Because there's useless volunteers, properly useless volunteers.
Mm-hmm.
To make you feel any better. I've had encounters with people that just don't know what's going on, and it's just
we're shit talking them now, so I'll never get a job.
You never get. I'll never get a press pass again.
Yeah,
it's a fun time. This is my second year going. You get a buzz off it. You just don't. Seeing all these films back to back.
So with your press pass, what does that? Does that just mean you get to see all the films for free?
Well, I've already bought all of the films I was going to see. So basically, I just used the press pass to supplement that with some of the press screenings, and then maybe the odd one I would just go to the press screening of a late night one, so I could get home earlier. Because usually during the film festival, I'm not back until midnight every night, right. Which sounds ridiculous, but it's. I did it last year and it's not as bad as it sounds. But yeah, I've just been going in early so I can see more movies than I would. So I've been seeing instead of seeing 2 a day, I've been seeing 3 or 4 a day. But with the press pass, I get press screenings, online stuff. There's a press and industry centre that I've not had the courage to go into yet. Because I feel like an imposter, Jordi.
Have you plugged the podcast anywhere?
I haven't. What happens is every time I go into places, I get an imposter syndrome. I get imposter syndrome, which I believe is like an actual thing, where you feel like you shouldn't be there, even though you're perfectly entitled to be there.
I think that's just called social anxiety.
No. It's like it's like a social anxiety. Like I can't speak to people, so it's that. But it's also
Well, you don't have to speak.
I don't deserve this. No, it's more like I don't deserve this. I've done nothing to deserve this.
I don't think I've ever gone that. I got a press pass to Glasgow Comic Con once, and I didn't. I
feel like you've told this story before.
Didn't feel like an imposter. I was just bored out of my mind.
But that's because it's Glasgow Comic Con.
Because I wasn't prepared to spend hundreds on collectibles, so there was no reason I was there really.
Yeah, I've never seen the point in local Comic Cons. There's no panels on. I'd have to treat every Comic Con like E3, and so I would only be able to go to San Diego.
Rimmer from Red Dwarf was there.
Who's that?
Red Dwarf, the TV show.
What's that?
Dear God. Right, so over the week, over the past few weeks, we got 2 name drops which have been wrong, because we missed out on CinemaCon, Cine Europe. Is that the one that was just
Cine Europe? Yeah.
So there was a big hoo-ha about the Avengers, because they supposedly they showed some footage, but they didn't. It was just like a video of Kevin Feige talking to the people about like what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And then
Cine Europe's it's like CinemaCon, except it doesn't have the press presence isn't as big, basically, and they show some stuff up that people thought maybe they'd be like because there's not a big press presence, maybe they'd show Avengers. I think did they show a Captain Marvel trailer? This is what you're going on to speak about.
They talked about Captain Marvel and how she's going to be basically the lead of the next phase. She's going to be the sort of the Captain America or more the Iron Man of the next phase. She's going to be like the big person, the big lad of phase 4. Yeah.
It's crazy it's only been 4. It's only been 3.
But no, what I was going to talk about was that there's the massive reveal of the Avengers 4 title, which wasn't real.
Was it fake? Was it definitely 100% fake?
I'm pretty sure it's on. Like, nobody's come out and
was
said.
The FH thing not FH thing?
So it came out so it was rumored that the Avengers 4 will be Avengers FH. So the initials will be. Well, I think the initials given were AFH. So they thought, Avengers FH, whatever that could be. So that could be Fallen Heroes, Forever Home,
fucking hell.
Yeah. And I've just realised they could have just been talking about the next film we're going to talk about, which was real. Also, there was a screen there was a picture of the screen that said Avengers Fallen Heroes. That was fake.
Yeah.
But then this week we got the reveal of Spider-Man 2 title, which is going to be Spider-Man Far From Home. FH.
But Jordi, there's already been a Spider-Man 2.
Well, that's why this is just called Spider-Man Far From Home.
I see. So is he going to space?
No. It has multiple meanings, according to Kevin Feige, the Feigemeister. Yeah, he's going on a field trip around the world. They've already sort of revealed that he's going to multiple places like Paris, maybe London.
Wouldn't that get a bit annoying? Like changing setting.
They changed a lot in the first film. Well, they went to Washington. But this is mainly going to be about, again, he's going to be chasing Mysterio, played by Jake Gyllenhaal.
Who's a great actor, who we love.
He's great, yeah. So he's playing.
Could you tell me a bit about Mysterio?
Mysterio is a guy that has a fish tank on his head and basically uses powers of illusion, but sometimes they're real. It's really confusing.
So is he a magician?
He's supposed, but it's not magic he uses. It's supposed to be illusions and yeah. things aren't supposed to be there, but sometimes he has like tentacles and smoke that actually pick people and hold them, and it's really strange. So he's supposedly going to be going around stealing things, and Spider-Man's going to stop him, but he's not the big baddie.
Did you say illusions? It's an Arrested Development reference. I've watched a lot of Arrested Development. I'm very sorry.
Okay.
I was Europe's Final Countdown plays. You know?
Yeah, I got it, but
yeah,
you sort of.
I missed it because I couldn't fucking type.
Flow.
Sorry.
Where was it? Oh yeah, it's going to be Norman Osborn. He's going to be working for, probably, because it's going to be working for someone, and then that's going to set up. Michael Keaton's coming back, I think.
In how big a part?
I don't think in a massive part, but I think he's going to be there, and it's going to set up Sinister Six, because this Sinister Six group's been trying to get a film for years now.
Do you think Sinister Six will be a film?
No, I think it will be the third Spider-Man. Probably.
Okay, so Spider-Man Sinister Six, or Spider-Man...
Because films based entirely around bad guys are just money makers, aren't they?
Spider-Man Home for Six.
No, it will be like...
Spider-Man Home for... Home...
A poem.
Six Home.
Home...
Six Home.
Home... Schooled.
Spider-Man.
I really thought this one was going to be Field Trip, but no, it's called Far From Home.
They're going for the Home trilogy. I can tell you that right now.
Yeah, probably. Spider-Man Home for Dinner. Yeah.
Does Home have any significance whatsoever? Like, there's no need. There's no need to call it Homecoming, then Home Far From Home, and then Home for Tea or whatever.
It was called called Homecoming because there's Homecoming, and then Far From Home, I guess, was just because he's going to be going around the world, but everyone who doesn't think for a second will be like, oh, he's going to be in space, it's going to be in space, but we know because it was sort of revealed that this is going to be set a few years after Avengers 4. Because it's supposedly going to be a more adult, like a sort of semi-grown up Spider-Man.
So like a 15? It's not going to be an R-rated Spider-Man movie.
No.
Do you... Is he... So like we're gonna do the jump where he goes straight to graduation again, so we're not gonna have any...
Yeah, like people really like the fact that he was in school, so it was sort of like proper Spider-Man and how everyone envisioned young Spider-Man, but supposedly I think they're just going to be, because you can't
do what every single Spider-Man movie's done,
because that's, if it's like how I predicted it would be, it's going to be him dealing with the fact that he died, and there's going to be like subplots about him having PTSD like Iron Man in Iron Man 3, but
do you think Tony Stark will be coming back for this one?
Nope. There was rumors ages ago that there would be another sort of like mentor role, and people were thinking it was going to be Bruce Banner.
Oh.
So basically they're just going to have another Tony Stark role, but it won't be Tony Stark, it'll be... I
would put money on Mark Ruffalo.
Because he's going to die.
Yeah, Tony Stark's dead.
Trust me.
Assure you that.
Trust me. People didn't trust me about Avengers Infinity War, about everyone dying, and look what happened. Spoilers. Right, so I guess with that first news piece out of the way, we can go over to Cameron's...
Yeah, I've spent a lot of time at... Oh, like I said before, I don't have a seat, that's why I'm moving about so much. Like I said before, I've spent a lot of time at the Edinburgh Film Festival. It's been fun. And I don't even know how to segue in. Jordi, could you segue into this for me?
Oh, I thought you had notes. So Cameron's...
I do have notes, but I have notes, but I don't have a fucking segue. I don't know how to start this.
So Cameron has been to see a lot of films, but we don't want to talk about all the films he's been to see because I'd like to speak sometimes, and I don't want to kill myself.
Yeah.
So we've chosen a group of films that Cameron can talk about, and if you might be interested in seeing them, he should give you a good review. So, Cameron, what's the first film that you want to talk about?
The first film I want to talk about is Old Boy, and apparently there's this play called Cyrano de Bergerac, and it's basically where the kind of film, Jordi, when they go when someone helps someone
get a girl that
and they fall in love.
Yeah, I know.
It's basically that. So it's set in a boarding school around this boy called Amberson, who's played by Alex Lawford from that Black Mirror episode that everyone loves, and The End of the Fucking World, which I don't like. And he falls in love with a French girl called Agnes, whose dad works at the school, and she doesn't like him back. She likes this jock called Winchester, who she mistakenly believes is some kind of poet, has a much more creative brain than he doesn't. He's just a fucking idiot. And he basically helps him get on with her by kind of creating these small these videos for her to watch at home. And they parody stuff like 2001. It's kind of funny in the way they do it. They also kind of play fucking phone, Jordy. Fucking phone. I'm panicking here as it is, and your fucking phone goes off. Where was I?
They make videos.
They make videos, and it's kind of it's like a funny it's like a quirky comedy. You've kind of seen it all before. It doesn't really do much new. It's kind of it's not boring. It's an enjoyable watch. Alex Lawford's great. It's like a quirky comedy that kind of set in a British boarding school. Can't go wrong there, Jordan.
So basically, it's the classic helping your enemy to get the girl you want.
Yeah. Help the enemy to get the girl you want, and she does. I don't know. Does she fall in love with him? Who knows? You'll find out. They have dreams. Does she fall in love? You don't know. You have to watch the film to find out. I don't know. I've not seen the end of the film. I'm joking. I have. Yeah. They also they dream of running away to Berlin and stuff like that. Well, she doesn't. She does, but he doesn't. She thinks that Winchester does, and Winchester's fine because they're sitting there playing. The school has this made up game called Streamers,
right?
Which is it's like a game where you have to wrestle someone for a ball, and then you've got to stand on top of a wall and kick it onto a target.
Okay.
And Amberson really wants to do this, and Winchester's the best at it, and they kind of form a friendship, while Amberson helps to get the girl, which kind of raises his status in the school. Every year they have this competition called the Founders Day competition, where all the old boys, which is apparently a term for boys that used to go to old boys that used to go to
for Korean school. Men that beat up people.
Yes, also it shares the name of Park Chang-woo or whatever his name.
And Josh Brolin.
Film. Yeah, and Josh Brolin. And they have a match, and these people are just not dead inside, but they're the most boring, plain people on the entire planet because they're the best at this game called Streamers, and they've got nothing going on for them whatsoever. So it's kind of it's also a story of finding out who you are, as well as this kind of quirky comedy, and it's fine. It doesn't do much to change the story. I've seen this type of story done better in other places. But yeah, it's an enjoyable little watch.
Is it a proper comedy? Is it a black comedy?
I wouldn't say it's black. It's not like a traditional Paul Rudd comedy or anything like that. But it's like a funny, it's like a quirky kind of it's not black. It's not
a kids film.
No, it's not even a kids film. It's a 15, but it's not a black comedy. I wouldn't say it's a. Does black comedy mean dark humor and wanting to kill yourself and shit, or is that
black comedy's serious situations, but sometimes it's like a Nice Guys. How it's if it wasn't for the jokes, it would be a really fucked up film.
No, it's not like that. It's just a adult comedy kind of thing, but it's not it's just a quirky comedy.
Cool.
You feel me.
I feel you.
Me.
I feel it. It sounds like you enjoyed this film, Cameron.
I did enjoy this film. I did. I just wanted it to be. I got bored towards the ending. So like, I know what's going to happen.
Right.
I just knew what was going to happen. That you can once you get the vibe of what the movie is, you can follow it beat for beat, and it's just so it kind of turns you off there. But you're having a good time. You know what I mean? It's not got a release date yet, and you've missed all the screenings for the Edinburgh Film Festival. So you'll just have to keep an eye on Film 4's website when you can watch it again.
Yeah.
Do you have more news, Jordi?
I have a boatload of news, Cameron.
So much news.
We got an update on the Flash film, set to begin filming early 2019. They're dropping the somber tone, going for a more Back to the Future feel, because DC have learned that we don't want to be severely depressed when seeing superhero blockbusters.
Do you think that Shazam is kind of holding a lot on that? Do you think if Shazam fails, they could kind of like panic a lot more? Because Shazam seems like it's going for a comedy.
They seem like they are very much going for. I think Aquaman might be the last of the certain tones that we're getting right now. So they've gone from dark to whatever Justice League was, which felt sort of just like, let's try and copy Avengers. And I think Aquaman were sort of have the same tone as Justice League, but after Aquaman we're getting 80s Wonder Woman, funny kids comedy Shazam, and now Flash, which with what's his face?
John Francis Daly.
No, the guy that played Ezra Miller.
All right.
What he did in Justice League, I couldn't imagine them doing a somber tone film. It's not going to be Flashpoint anymore. It's going to be Flash now.
I better have the fucking gorilla or
Grodd.
Yeah.
Nah.
Is that too over the top?
I can picture them doing Grodd, but not for the first film. They'd probably do something like. Would they do Reverse Flash for the first film?
You mean like Flash TV series?
The CW TV show starring Grant Gustin.
They did this Reverse Flash as soon as they started, did they not?
Did they? Yeah, they sort of did. Well, it was more like the second series.
He would lie to you every episode and say, I'm the fastest man alive. And he's not the fucking fastest man alive.
Yeah, it was very strange how every season turned out he wasn't the fastest man alive, but he kept saying it. It was very annoying. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the DC films. I haven't kept that a secret during our time on this podcast.
Oh no, I love them, Jordi. Batman vs Superman, absolute masterpiece, top 10 of all time.
I'm kind of hoping that Aquaman is like this brilliant film because we got some screenshots and it looked pretty good. The underwater stuff.
James Wan.
The only James Wan film I think I've seen is Star Trek Beyond. I haven't seen any of the Fast and Furious. No.
Yeah, he did Fast and Furious really well. The Conjuring series, I don't like horror that much, and the Conjuring series is like top notch. Insidious is a bit shit, and I've not seen any of the Saw movies, but everything I've seen of his I've loved. Like, I love Star Trek. I love all those Star Trek movies, and I love Beyond as well. So I'm really excited to see what he does. But if it's anything like Insidious levels of bad, I will be disappointed.
Yeah.
You know, I just want DC to give me a good film. And at this point, I don't know if they can.
Yeah. It's very hard because I've just been disappointed by the past few films, but I hope this is a new era. We sort of just went past it, but we also got the reveal that Wonder Woman 2 is going to be set in 1984, and it's going to be called...
Steve Trevor's alive.
It's going to be called Wonder Woman 1984. Yeah.
Like Blade Runner 2049.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they sort of just... It's Steve Trevor's alive, because we know you hate surprises.
They needed them for the press tour because Chris Pine and Gal Gadot have a great chemistry together. and watching them do interviews together is very funny, and I get them a lot of views. So they need them for the press tour, basically.
Just put Jeff Goldblum in for one scene, and he'll do the press tour for you.
He'll do Jeff Goldblum will appear in your movie and promote the fuck out of it for very little.
For 2 scenes, but it kind of felt like the same scene halved. One at the beginning, one at the end.
They did that in one day.
Unless it was like, did they just all come back? It was very odd. But we're not talking about fucking.
Jeff Goldblum promoted the entire Jurassic World video game.
He was everywhere. Like, he's in the Jurassic World video game more than he is Evolution.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's in the video game more than he is the actual Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. It's very odd. But keeping to DC news, for this bit, we got the word that Jeff Johns sort of stood down as the sort of big man, the leader of DC at Warner Brothers, and he's now stepped down to a writing position for the Green Lantern Corps film.
Someone tried to tell me that was a promotion, and I thought to myself, no,
it's not. It's
he's getting to write a Green Lantern movie, but he's not got the job of guiding DC into what it is.
Yeah, basically they said you're not in charge, but you can write a film for us. That'd be great. Yeah, he's.
No, I don't know his work that well, unfortunately.
He's like the big man of. I think he wrote Flashpoint. He's done a lot of great work at DC. With what's his face? Completely forgotten the other guy's name. Jim Lee. How can I forget Jim Lee? Jeff Johns and Jim Lee, they're just a great...
Jim Lee must have thought to himself, I should really go into comics because I have the second name
Lee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Stan Lee, you'd be like, there's Stan Lee, I'm Jim Lee, I should go and do it.
Mm-hmm. So basically he was in an executive role, and he co-wrote Aquaman and Wonder Woman 1984, but he sort of stepped down to open a new production company called Mad Ghost Productions, which is doing films for DC. So Mad Ghost Productions is doing Green Lantern Corps.
They're the new Rat Pack, then, I'm guessing.
Probably, yeah. This could have something to do with another news piece, but we'll get to that later. Cameron, what is your second film that you went to see?
My name is Maisha.
No,
that's not my name.
It's Cameron.
It's the name of the movie, and it follows this moment in time where a woman is involved in a police shooting at a gas station. So her friends, she's on a night out, she gets a flat tire, and her friends call the police because she decides to go for a sleep with a handgun on her lap for some weird, wonderful reason, other than I think it's because she's scared of the outside. Like, she's not scared of she's scared of the outside world. You know, I mean, it's America, scary place. So she's sleeping with a gun on her lap, and she can't wake up. Like, they've banged on the door, they can't wake up, so they call the police, and the police come in, and they investigate what's going on. They try to open the door, and basically, it becomes this musical kind of. It's a rap kind of like musical kind of like slam poetry thing about this girl like and her life and the events of this like tiny like moment in time that stretches out over like the entire entire like hour 30 long movie, and it's incredible. So I can't quite describe it because it's really strange. It's like a dream. It's like a dream state she's in, and she just raps. It kind of gave me vibes of I was really taken aback by it when I first started. It kind of gave me vibes of the slam poetry bit from 22 Jump Street.
Right.
You know the bit where Jonah Hill's at the top. Jonah Hill's on the stage going, "Sin, Fia. Jesus died for our sins, Fia." That's the best. It's that, but done well. For an hour and 30 minutes.
Does she talk to the audience?
She talks directly to the audience.
It sounds like it becomes like an advert for life insurance halfway through.
It's no, I wouldn't. it's kind of, it's weird. So she has this like beatboxing buddy as well who plays the police officer in real life is the police officer, and she follows him around beatboxing and rapping, and they go through like why her hair is like the way it is and why you shouldn't touch black women's hair, or her life as a kid, how she's good at athletics, she's just, and how she has this dance moves with her friend, and you become like, you just get invested in her, and it's strange, and it's based off a play, so
right,
you can I'm honestly hats off to him, because he manages to make this 2-person play called Dreamscape feel like actually like it's worth seeing at the cinema, which is something I didn't think they'd pull off, if that makes sense. And it's really, I don't want to say too much about what happens in the movie, because it'll take away from the impact, but it's an important movie. It's impactful, it's emotional, it's kind of heartbreaking, but it's just done so well that I honestly love it. And I know it won't work for a lot of people, but you should honestly check out if you can. Fuck! I just stabbed myself.
Alright.
Ow! What the hell was that? Oh, you know the bit in the quiet place?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there's an open nail on my bed, and I just fucking shoved my hand right down onto it.
Why is there an open... First off, what do you mean by an open nail?
I don't... Like a nail that's just like poking out from the bed.
Why is there nails in your mattress?
Not in my mattress. My mattress has come to the side a little bit, and the bit of my bed's poking out. And...
Why is there...
That's a staple from the, like... I don't even know how to describe it.
Oh, right. So a staple has become unbent.
Yeah, from the bed frame.
Oh. Are you living in unsafe living conditions, Cameron? Do you need me to call someone?
Yep. Oh.
Is this a plea for help?
This is a plea for help. Oh my god, man. I'm bleeding, Jordi. I'm fucking bleeding.
Are you able to?
But yeah, my name is... It's fine, I've got it. It's not a big cut or anything, it's just a small prick in my finger. I had overreacted a little bit. It gave me a fright because I wasn't expecting it. But yeah, my name is Misha. Maisha. It sounds like Misha, but it's Tisha. I think it's Maisha or Misha. I can't. Maisha. Yeah.
I haven't seen the film.
Yeah. It's real. It's hilarious. It's funny, and it's fucking heartbreaking.
Cool.
Watch it.
What is the second film?
The third. We're doing another film.
The third. Yeah, third film. Go for a third film.
Just go for it. Go straight into a third film.
Just go for it.
Let me find. I wasn't prepared for this, man. Who we are now? It's like a legal drama. Okay, it's like a legal drama. Julianne Nicholson is a woman who has been in jail recently and wants custody of her child. She's desperate for a job. She's like living in like a tiny flat. And she's going to these lawyers called the Watchdogs. One of them is the guy who plays Princess Leia's adopted dad.
Bail Organa.
Yep. Who I didn't write down the name of for some reason. And Emma Roberts is also working there as a lawyer in kind of like training. She just graduated lawyer school or whatever. And they take on her case, and it's basically Julianne Nicholson looking for a job, trying to like gain the trust of her family. She's in a constant battle with her. I think it's her sister who she gave custody of the child, and is now the legal guardian, and is not wanting this kid to leave her because she doesn't feel that it'd be safe. And you can see all the sides of it. It's a great drama. It's very it's not like I wouldn't say emotional, but it's kind of, you can see all the sides of why people, you can see the actions of why everyone's doing this. You can see the development. It's fucking brilliant. Zachary Quinto is also in this.
All right.
Which fucking took me back. I didn't realize it was him until the credits, because he's this bald guy with a massive beard, who is a slightly, not like a social outcast, but a slightly quieter man. They've all got their flaws, and he used to be in the army, and he falls in love with Julian Nicholson's character, and they have a relationship, and it's you know what I mean. It's like it's a good drama, and I had a solid time watching it. And you can't. It's so well rounded, it's so well done. I honestly just fucking love it, man. Yeah, I'm just trying not to, because there's bits in this movie I don't want to reveal, because it's kind of, it's not like it would just spoil it, but I don't want to like ruin it, you know what I mean? So I'm trying to like toe the line between like explaining everything of what happens and trying to tell you that you should go see this movie, if you get what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
It's a difficult line to cross, because I don't want to like, because this one doesn't have like a beginning, middle, and end. You can just kind of like speak out. It's kind of like a moment in time, and you can't. And it's like this woman wanting to get her child back. These characters are all flawed in some way. They all have a connection, and everyone is brilliant in it. Like Emma Roberts, I don't know this woman could act. She was in Nerve. Remember Nerve?
Emma Roberts.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah, she can act.
She can't act.
She
can do comedies. I've never seen her in something like this. All right, I've never seen her in something like this.
Okay.
What
not her fault.
I know, it's her child stardom. Harriet the Spy or whatever she was in. You know. Yeah, it's not the best film of the festival so far. I would say it's up there. I saw it on like a late night, and I had a good time watching it, which is basically the highest praise I can give it. And it hits all the moments you want it to hit. You know what I mean? It hits everything. Performances are brilliant. That was the worst review I've done yet. Go see it.
Yeah, you're gonna have to hurry up.
Yeah.
Because they're going up 10 minutes.
You got more news?
I have more news. Let me get my news up. Right. So we got a rumor that Todd Phillips the Joker and Matt Reeves the Batman could be connected under the new DC Dark or Black label. So it's either going to be called DC Dark or DC Black.
DC Dark, please, thank you.
Which was a separate rumor. Now, because it would make sense if they called it the Black label, because a black label is a thing. It's the higher quality.
So Batman's not going to be Batman. So we're going to get Jake Gyllenhaal's Batman.
No, because he's Mysterio. So yeah, we're gonna. I don't want him as Batman, but so Todd Phillips the Joker, which will have Joaquin Phoenix. Maybe he's. Last I heard of it, he
signed on.
Has he actually signed on?
I think so. Yeah, he signed on.
Okay, because last I heard of it, he hadn't heard of it. So basically it's because Walter Hamada, who basically took the role that Jeff Johns stepped down from, he's the new man in charge of DC, Warner Brothers, and is basically cleaning up all the shit left for him by starting a new label, is what it seems like.
Alright.
So he's come in, he's been like, right, so there's this DCU thing hasn't gone so well, so let's sort of just like start to maybe sweep it under the rug by starting a new darker. Well, it seems like they're going for a darker universe, but the first film was pretty dark. I don't know, but
so you want to separate your darks from your whites, basically. So, because if you put darks in with your whites, man, it's gonna change all the socks.
But it seems like this new label will be focused on darker toned films, but that's sort of the problem that the first, like, Batman vs Superman had, where it was a bit dark, and we don't want that. But some people do.
Some people do. Some people really like it.
And this looks like it could be
best of both worlds.
Unrelated films or related films. We don't know.
Because you'd always want to be able to cross, like, at some point, like, fans will cry out, but like, because you'll get to the point where you'll be like, oh, this dark. I want Joaquin Phoenix's Joker to fucking meet this Batman. This Batman looks fucking. They would be brilliant to play off each other, and you wouldn't be able to. And it'd be silly.
Yeah, with the new label, they could do a bunch of single films like Avengers did, and then maybe meet them up. But we don't know. We'll find out.
It'd also allow them to do some R-rated stuff as well, I'd assume, and just kind of maybe do something that Marvel can't do until they get R-rated characters, basically.
But it's very confusing that they're gonna have two different universes, and there's gonna be so many DC.
I think I wouldn't say it's going to be confusing. I think general audiences may struggle at first, but they'll get used to it. You're always going to get some idiot going, why can't Wolverine meet up with the Avengers or something like that? And it's going to be the exact same kind of thing. People managed to separate X-Men, Avengers, and Spider-Man for the longest time. So
yeah, but these are the same. These are the same characters. This is like if Sam Raimi's Spider-Man was going on at the same time as Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man.
Yeah, I suppose. But I think they'll try and take steps not to allow that to happen. I don't know.
Right. Another
quick. Ideal Home, and I believe you started watching a bit of Ideal Home.
I've seen a lot. I've seen most of it.
All right. It's a comedy starring Paul Rudd and Steve Coogan, and they play a gay couple. And honestly, it's as good as it sounds, which is very good. Steve Coogan plays a TV host and chef called Erasmus Brumble. Erasmus Brumble, yeah, and Paul Rudd plays a is it producer or director?
He's his producer, yeah,
and he plays the producer who's his
husband,
partner. Yeah, I don't think they're married, but yeah, they're partner. And Erasmus has had a son, and is estranged, and that his grandson, the son goes to jail, and the grandson comes to live with them. And they don't want the kid, and they didn't plan on having kids, and they're not good with kids. And this sounds very familiar, does it not? That sounds pretty familiar. When a kid comes to stay with someone and they don't want the kid, and they kind of fall in love with the kid. You've seen it before, but it's funny. You know what I mean?
Have I seen it before?
I've seen it before. Like Adam Sandler, like all Adam Sandler movies. What's the one where he finds a kid he doesn't want? Adam Sandler's had a movie.
No, not Boyhood. Is it Boyhood?
Kid.
The one with Cole Sprouse.
Yeah. Daddy, is it not Daddy Daycare?
That's Eddie Murphy.
But you know what I mean? You've heard. I described that to you, not minus the gay couple thing. You've heard like a Big Daddy.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've heard that story before.
But they did it very well. They did it very well.
They did it very well. How much? What did you get up to?
I got up to everything's all fine. Everything's all good. They started to they hosted a party, and then they went to a normal people party, and then the kid almost got hit by a car or a bike, and then Paul Rudd had a panic attack.
Yeah. It's they're really funny, aren't they? Like the Steve Coogan and
there's a scene in it. There's this very good scene in it in which I think it might be partially an outtake. I wouldn't be surprised if this was all improvised and it was basically when they are reading what the kid, who is called Angel but likes to be called Bill, wrote for his school project about gay people and what they don't like to be called. That seems like a very genuine scene, and I wouldn't be surprised if that was like a surprise. Ad-libbed, and it was brilliant.
It's a brilliant movie.
Such a great dynamic.
I know, I love them together. I was surprised I hadn't, like, I know they've been in Night at the Museum together, but they weren't in the same scenes.
All right.
You said that before we went on. You were like, they've been in the film together before, Night at the Museum, and I was like,
no, because I'd seen on IMDb in the trivia it said this is their third film together.
What was the other one?
It was. Let me just find out. Where's the trivia? Third movie, Night Museum, Our Idiot Brother, and Ideal Home. Our Idiot Brother.
Are they together in Our Idiot Brother? Have you seen that one?
No. I think is that the one with Tina Fey? I don't know. Yeah. It was a good film.
Good movie.
I like it so far.
Watch it. It comes out on July 6th. I want to say it comes out in July in the UK properly. Signature Entertainment. You should definitely give it a watch because it is very funny.
Yeah.
Shall we do another one?
Easy A. Yeah, you can do another one.
Searching, which is a big one. It did Sundance. Got a lot of buzz at Sundance. Won a couple of awards there. You heard Searching?
Yes, that's the one with John Cho, yes.
From the Star Trek movies.
From Star Trek.
It's like Unfriended and that short movie Noah. It's set completely from a desktop of some kind of computer. I think we go to a couple of iPhones. Yeah. It's just iPhones, a Mac, and a Windows XP PC.
It's done through in-world cameras, basically. Yeah.
Basically in-world cameras and desktops, and I kind of Unfriended ruined it for me in a way because it was so bad and so boring. But this does it really well. It's a mystery about John Cho's daughter goes missing, and it's kind of like the detective tells him to find out as much as he physically can, which I don't think detectives ever do. I've never heard of a detective go, could you please help me with my job? And it's got it doesn't become gimmicky, which is something I thought it would have. Like Unfriended becomes gimmicky and it becomes annoying and stupid, but this never felt gimmicky at all. It hooks you in and it has some twists and turns you don't see coming. John Cho is brilliant. For having to act to himself, basically, because I doubt they filmed the video calls live. I don't think they did. I can't find anything to say that they did. But to act on your own and to give the performance he did and he's on his own for the majority of the movie, he's just like fucking outstanding. It's got some good twists. You're gonna have a good time. A good solid mystery movie set from a desktop. I had a fucking brilliant time. I think it comes out in August. August? Do we have a date on that? I think it's end of August. It comes out in the UK.
Coming soon, 31st of August. Yeah.
Yeah. August. Good fun times. You got any more news?
Good fun time.
This episode's going to run long.
I have two more things of news. The first one is that an animated series of Robert Kirkman's Invincible comic book series is being made by Amazon Studios. 8-hour-long episodes have been ordered. Invincible is basically an adult version, a comic book adult version of the film Sky High. So basically, it's about this kid is growing.
Is it actually Sky High, or is it just
this kid is his dad is basically the biggest superhero in the world, and he's basically Superman. He has super strength and can fly and everything, and he gets powers one day. So he gets the powers of his dad. He goes through puberty basically, and it's sort of like him. It's like, I guess I want to say like Kick-Ass, because it is sort of brutal at times and realistic, but it has proper superpowers, and it's a mix of Kick-Ass and normal superhero films that you see. Yeah. And it's very good. There's a feature film being made by Universal, which was announced ages ago. It's being made by. Come out? Yeah, it's still in development. It's being made by Seth Rogen and Evan Goldberg, who did Preacher. All right. And they've done a good job on that so far. So yeah, I trust them to do a good job on this. and I really like this comic.
It sounds like something I'd watch. I don't watch a lot of telly, but it sounds like something I'd watch.
Robert Kirkman, who I think he'll have 4 shows on air at the time.
You'll need something to save him once Walking Dead ends.
So you have Walking Dead, Fear the Walking Dead. When Walking Dead ends, Fear the Walking Dead will take over. Invincible and Outcast.
Do you think is Fear the Walking Dead even is that as good as the Walking
Fear
Dead?
the Walking Dead, since it's got its new showrunners, this season's been pretty good. It has.
Does that run concurrently with the Walking Dead or after or before?
It was before, but now it is concurrently because a character at the end of the last season of Walking Dead left, and then he appeared in the Fear the Walking Dead.
Isn't it set before though?
No, it's now concurrent.
Is it? Oh, cool.
So there's more crossover.
Yeah, because The Walking Dead's fucking finished, isn't it?
The Walking Dead is about to go through a masterfuck from all angles, because Andrew Lincoln is leaving because he wants to go home and stop spending all his time in America.
And do movies. I'm assuming he's got a lot of movies he wants to be able to do.
Probably.
I'm assuming he'll have movies.
There's a rumor that Denai Guerrera, Michonne, and she's also Okoye in Black Panther. She maybe might be leaving. Lindsay
Hollywood's definitely calling her.
Yeah, Lindsay Cohan is leaving, so they're gonna be losing a lot of like their big people.
Just end it. Just end it. Nothing needs to run for as long as it's run. Like, it doesn't need to be this long.
They still have quite a lot of people. It's gonna be very strange, and it's definitely gonna be different to the comics.
All the survivors need to if anyone wants to stay, they should just move to Fear the Walking Dead and just end The Walking Dead now, since it feels like it was supposed to be a show about Andrew Lincoln's character, and it doesn't need to be anything else now. Like, it's so long, man. I know I don't watch it. But it annoys me that
it should end with the death of Rick Grimes, but I do not think it will, which is unfortunate. I think they're gonna milk this cow, and then I will join in with people saying, yeah, it's not that good, because I'm sort of ride or dying this, because I do genuinely think that it is still quite a good show. It has great moments. Episodes where people are like, oh, this is too slow, I love the sort of artsy fartsy sort of breaks where it's like, oh, nothing's happening, so let's focus on a character and have like a cute little storyline.
Even then, I've heard that people say like it's not even like artsy fartsy, it's just tedious. It's like they can see what it's trying to do, but it just becomes stupid and almost kind of pointless. Like, there's no,
I don't get how there was a great arc with the character Negan, who had a great arc in the comics, and they sort of copied it, but I don't think Jeffrey Dean Morgan is brilliant as Negan.
Is he gone? Is he coming back?
He's still alive. He's alive in the comics, and they kept him alive in the series, which I thought they were going to change, because I was like, oh, it's just going to be like a TV show, so they're going to get rid of their big baddie of this arc, and they're going to get a new big baddie. But no, they actually kept him alive, so he will be in the next season. So yeah, there's a lot of ways the show can go. It won't end with the death of Rick Grimes. But yeah, there's so supposedly he's going to be leaving before the end of season 9. So I don't know how they're going to end it.
Season break kill off.
Maybe. Yeah.
That sounds all right. Caliber. Caliber is Netflix's new original movie.
Right.
Well, it's not original. They've bought it off someone, obviously, like they do for most of their movies.
Yeah.
It's Matt Palmer's first feature film. It took him 8 years to write and make, and it's fucking amazing. It's set in a Scottish a Highland town. Two people go on like a stag like hunting do thing. Vaughn and Marcus, and they go hunting and they try to kill a deer, and the deer moves slightly, and he shoots a child in the head.
Oh, fuck.
Yes. He didn't realize the kid was there. It just appeared out of nowhere. The deer looks up, and it's the most. Honestly.
That's a mixture of two things.
What?
That's one of the main plots of the second season of Walking Dead, in which Carl gets shot because he stands beside a deer, and the deer gets shot, and so he gets shot. And in Bruges.
Yes. Well, this is basically. They go and. He goes and goes, oh my god, he tries to wake the kid up and everything. The dad comes out and goes, what the fuck's going on here? And he's put his rifle on the ground, and the dad picks up the rifle, and then Marcus shoots the dad.
Okay.
And they basically, it's so tense, unbelievable. I sounded comedic there, but it's not. It's so, like, the air, once he shot that kid, the air in the room, just, it was like everyone took a deep breath in, and it just became, it was so intense for the next, like, for the remainder of the movie. It's just them trying to hide the body, and then they have to go back to town and act like nothing's happened. It's who are the people? I'm trying to find the names of people that play Vaughan. Jack Lowden and Martin McCann. Okay, they are fucking amazing. Just completely complex, just fleshed out characters. It's stripped. The entire film is just stripped away of all like bullshit. There's no set. It just follows these two, and they're like the growing paranoia, the growing guilt. It comes to conclusions because the village is basically, it's one of those, I don't know. Have you lived anywhere apart from this house in the middle of nowhere, or have you lived in like a?
I've lived in another house in the middle of another place of nowhere, but when I was very young.
All right, because village, I don't know. There's a thing with Scottish villages where everyone knows everybody, and they're all like, it feels like a family. Like, no, like family. There's a big family that runs through a village, and this is like completely the same. It's basically run by this guy called Logan, who's played by Tony Curran, who you'll know, who played Vincent Van Gogh in Doctor Who.
Yep, he was also in Defiance and League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
There you go. He plays Logan, who is basically the leader of the town. And it's kind of, he keeps trying to talk to them and trying to like, it's his brother who's the dad of the child.
Right. And
they notice someone's gone missing because they're not tourists or just members of the village, and they cotton on, and it just there's this dinner scene, and it's they have dinner with another brother and Logan, and it's like Dunkirk, in the fact that I had my entire body clenched for the entire movie, and only until the end credits started that I finally was relieved of all tension. It's so fucking good, and honestly, you need to watch it. It's on Netflix on Friday. Honestly, it's called Caliber. It's just so good.
I will be sure to do that.
Honestly, it's one of my favorite films of the festival.
All right.
There you go. So far, one of my favorite films of the festival.
Sounds good.
Sounds good.
Is it just straight like thriller?
Straight, yeah, thriller. Just fucking, not like runabout thriller, but just kind of like a slower kind of like, I don't know if psychological is the right word, but just kind of like a slow kind of burner of just continuous tension, continuous. Just you're like you're terrified for them, but you're also like, you people are dickheads. You just wanna. You won't. My mum would hate it because my mum hates feeling like flappy and horrible, like, oh my god, but it's just such a good feeling for me anyway. I just fucking loved it.
Right.
Yep, there you go.
Cool.
Also, it's not filmed in the Highlands. Matt Palmer said in the Q&A afterwards that it's 20 minutes away from Edinburgh.
Alright.
Yep.
Last news piece. I just want to talk about the rumour that Collider basically reported that Lucasfilm are putting a Star Wars story films on hold, including projects in development. So like the Obi-Wan film and the Boba Fett film, I still have a chance.
Do you though?
No, I don't.
No.
I'd like to think I do.
Because Lucasfilm said it was bullshit, did they not? To ABC, who is Disney, but
didn't. Yeah, so the report said that Lucasfilm were focusing all efforts on episode 9, Ryan Johnson's series, and D.B. Weiss and David Benioff's series, and then ABC reported that this is all true, untrue, all false even, and isn't real. So I'm more inclined to believe with ABC because it's Disney.
I would say that they are trying to focus heavily on Ryan Johnson's new trilogy, because once episode 9 finishes, they're kind of fucked.
It's like I can imagine them. Right, so we keep saying Disney, Lucasfilm.
Yeah.
I can imagine Disney being like, oh, don't do any standalone films because that's not making us money. But I don't think Lucasfilm would be like, oh, this film didn't do well, let's put all the other standalone films on hold. I don't think they would.
Kathleen Kennedy's smarter than that. Like I've said, like we said before this episode, Kathleen Kennedy is a smart woman. She is
because
a hero.
If rumors are true and Kathleen Kennedy is preparing to step down, which she shouldn't, that could maybe be a reason why everything's sort of topsy-turvy right now. So if she is standing down, then it could make sense that people are like, right, let's put all the standalone films on hold and let's sort of jumble around everything. Let's try and get Ryan Johnson's series done and D.B. Weiss and David Benioff's series. No matter what happens, we're still getting a lot of Star Wars.
Star Wars is not going anywhere.
We're not getting any less Star Wars. We won't be getting 2 films that have been reported. Yeah. Can you hear noise when I'm not talking?
No.
Because it's picking up sound and it's very strange. So just wanted to talk about that. What do you think? Do you think they should? You didn't like Solo? Did you?
I didn't like Solo. I didn't mind Solo. Like, I thought it was okay for what it was.
Right.
I didn't think it deserved the hate that it got. I know a lot of people did actually boycott it because they were like, we don't need this, and
those
I can see that.
Those people are toxic scum and don't deserve
Star
Wars. So
I can see why they wouldn't. I didn't want to know that story, but Ron Howard's a nice guy, and I feel bad for Ron Howard. I don't know. I don't want. I want an Obi-Wan movie. I want the movies that we want, but they know better than us. So
yeah,
I don't know. I'm trying not to speak because I'm currently getting a lot of feedback and I don't know what's going on. I've got like a long continuous line. Oh, that's stopped now. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what I want to do. I want an Obi-Wan movie. I don't want the Boba Fett movie, but James Mangold's pretty good. It just depends.
I'd like a Boba Fett film if it's not a prequel. If it's set between 6 and 7.
That would be cool. Technically still a prequel.
Yes, but not a. We haven't seen Boba Fett after that, so it's not a prequel to Boba Fett.
I suppose.
But
I would watch it. Obviously I'm gonna go and see them. Like, it's not gonna stop me.
It's Star Wars, yeah.
I'm not. I want them to go back to December, and I only want one a year. That's basically where I'm at right now. I want December, and I want one a year.
They'll release the Blu-ray of Solo or on DVD, on Blu-ray, DVD.
Yeah, and I'll watch it on December 15th, and I'll be like,
it should have been now. But it's I think it was stupid.
There's not much else you can say other than it's silly if they stop them, but I can see why they've kind of become skeptical over this like massive loss that Star Solo's made.
But I don't think they would stop it from one film doing not even terribly, just not as good as the other films.
No, I know, yeah. And I think it's when you look at the budget, because Ron Howard had to go back and do everything. They spent so much money on it.
Yeah, that's the reason it was the biggest budget in Star Wars history. But
yeah,
and there was another report that they are not going to be testing RT directors. They're just going to be sticking to directors that they know will do a good job, like Ron Howard, so they won't be going with Wes Anderson for a Star Wars film. They'll be going with like Steven Spielberg or something.
I don't know, because Marvel's been acing it with that. Like, you do one small film, you do a couple. No, you do it right. So the thing is, you do 2 bad shorts, 3 good shorts, a feature film with a small budget, and then a large film. Look at Jordan Vogt Roberts. He did like The Kings of Summer, and then he immediately did Kong Skull Island.
Yeah, but didn't Edgar Wright try and do Ant-Man also sort of like different and sort of like comedic?
Yeah, he tried to do Ant-Man. I think their falling out was more over the fact that they had to tie it into the Marvel universe somehow.
Right.
Is what I heard anyway.
But
it was because of. I know.
Well, with Falcon they did, but like not in like.
And it was also a different time for Marvel as well. He started working on that in 2000 and crazy. I don't even know, 2005. It was before the MCU even existed.
Oh, right.
And they had a falling out because Kevin. I don't think it was Kevin Feige's fault. It must have been some higher up, because I think Kevin Feige maybe it was because they wanted a safe bet to start Phase 1, because Phase 1 is just full of safe bets.
Yeah.
So maybe it was just due to the safe bet. They wanted a safe bet, and now they're starting to take more risks.
But the first Ant-Man film is still pretty good. The guy returned to do Ant-Man and the Wasp, which looks brilliant.
Yeah, Peyton Reed, and still written by Paul Rudd as well.
Yep.
So, it's gonna be good. I'm looking forward to it. July 5th, 6 p.m. Disney Springs, Dolby Cinema.
Have you got it all booked?
I've got it booked. I'm very excited. I cannot wait. August 3rd for you guys at home. That's such a stupid release date. I can see when people are angry, but do you know what? Do you know they've done it because of the World Cup? Yeah.
Oh, Disney are terrified of the World Cup.
Well, they have right to be.
They don't.
They do. They do have a right to be.
It's two different things. Like, it's not.
No, it's not. General audiences tend to stay away from the cinema while the World Cup's on to not miss games. You should look at the data about the 2014 World Cup. It experienced a 50% drop in attendance compared to 2013.
The World Cup's not on like all day, every day.
Yeah, yes, but it's on at night. Well, it was on at night during that. I know it's not on at night now, but it's still.
Just go see it when the World Cup's not on.
People spend a lot. I know it's easy to say that, but the data doesn't lie.
Well,
I'm sorry, Jordi.
That's if you don't believe. Computers have become aware and are messing with us. So,
just go and see Ant-Man and the Wasp. Buy a ticket to America, cheapest ticket you can.
All right, yeah.
And head to.
Just go to America.
Head to see Ant-Man and the Wasp then.
And Incredibles.
Incredibles 2. Or you could have went to the Edinburgh Film Festival. Oh, keep an eye Sunday, July 1st. On Saturday they're doing Best of the Fest. So on Friday the 29th they announced what films will be part of the Best of the Festival strand, which is what they basically, on July 1st they just show the best received films from the festival, and last year Cars 3 was one of them.
Right. So
keep an eye out on that, because it's usually during the day and it's usually like a $5 for a ticket.
Okay.
So you'll be able to see Incredibles 2 then.
Okay.
If you can afford to get in. I don't even know.
And
I think I'm able to get you a free ticket, actually. I'll be able to get you a ticket.
But it's not the fact of getting the ticket, it's the fact of getting in that's too difficult. I have to get multiple buses to get into Edinburgh.
Yeah, well, you can do that.
No, I can't. Right. That's it.
Alright.
I'm done.
That's it. We're done. Finished? There'll be more. We're going to have 2 weeks full of Edinburgh Film Festival stuff, because I am lazy and don't want a 2-hour long show. I'm going to go back to writing bad reviews for setthetape.com.
I won the E3 predictions, by the way.
That's very true. We should really just quickly talk about that. You took on the E3 predictions.
E3 was brilliant.
Was it though?
Yeah, it was pretty good.
That's it, everyone. Thank you for listening. We'll be back next week with some more Edinburgh Film Festival stuff and some more news. I have been Cameron Howell. You can find me on Twitter at CamzoOG and doing some writing and stuff. I'll have links and everything there. Jordi is at Real Jordi Steele. Real as in the film reel. He does
Steel
stuff.
Is in the metal.
Yep, he does.
I've started just tweeting out news because so that if you want to be like, oh,
do you want to be one of those people that link the Crowdfire says to link the article?
No, I'm not linking articles. I'm just tweeting.
Link the article and have the news. Have your opinion on the top. That's what Crowdfire says for me to do, but I don't do it. I don't listen to them. I just tweet out shit. I'm just gonna tweet out. So if you're like, oh, loads of places are talking about a big thing in movie news, but they're doing it differently. So let's go to Jordi Steele, who will just have tweeted out stuff because he'll have done research because he likes to read multiple places to see. To get all the facts. I don't research. I just shitpost. Follow me for fun.
Usually I'll say like a rumor or reportedly, so that if it is wrong, I'm not wrong because I've just said reportedly.
Wow, you're really smart. Anyway, that's the end of the show. Join us next week, which will probably be in September because Jordi's really slow at editing these. Thank you and good night.
Bye.
Bye.